Hi and welcome to the absolutely stunning Las Colinas Golf and Country Club here in Spain. My name is Chris Ryan. Today's video is answering one of your questions all about the trail arm in the backswing. And we're also going to be taking a look at the trail wrist as well, giving you some ideas on how you can make yours move better, which are going to help you hit some better shots once you're out on the golf course. Hello and welcome to another Your Friday. Today coming to you from Las Colinas Golf and Country Club. So this is the show where you can get involved, have your say and help me with the content or the topic. So if you'd like to ask me a question, you can post that in the comments box down below. It doesn't have to be a question, it can just be a topic that you would like me to discuss in one of these videos. As I say, comment below and hopefully I will pick yours for a future video. Today I'm answering a question which came in via Facebook from Miguel Gonzalez, who was talking all about the trail arm. His question was, how do you fold the trail arm, and can I also talk about the trail wrist position at the top? Now, the reason I've picked this to answer is because I thought it was a great question, first of all, but so much out there at the moment is concerned with the lead wrist. How do we move that through the golf swing? What should it do in the backswing? And also what should it do in the downswing? So this old trail wrist, it gets neglected a little bit. So that's why I thought this was a great question. And I've also got a fantastic drill, which you can do, Miguel, but anybody can do this. And it doesn't need to be at a driving range. So I am here on the 12th hole, Las Colinas, and we're going to talk about this trail arm. So really, we need this trail arm to move correctly in the backswing. It's going to help you place the club in the right position. And if we use the trail wrist correctly, we're also going to be able to control the club face. Now, most of the golfers that I see, pretty much bar none, the arm will have bend at the top. So when they make their backswing, this trail arm will have flexed roughly by about 90 degrees. Probably going to be a little bit more than that in most cases. But how it does that is really, really important, because we want it to fold as opposed to bend. And yes, they are completely different. The drill we're going to do now is really going to help you appreciate what fold is relative to bend. So let me just go ahead and demonstrate what would be a golf swing where my trail arm is folding in the backswing. But now let me demonstrate a golf swing where the trail arm is bending in the backswing. Okay, so you can see both of those had a trail arm which was at some point bent, but they moved in very different ways, and you can see how those golf swings would have looked very different. For me to deliver the club to the ball from those two positions would require very different moves. Let's take the club away for a moment. We're going to get you to take your posture, trail arm down, pointing towards the golf ball. You're going to take your lead arm and you're just going to take the back of your hand and you're going to hook it behind almost the bicep on your trail arm. Now, I want you to feel like you keep this lead arm in the position it is relative to you. Now, if I try and bend my trail arm, that would be this movement, you can see where my elbow would go. It would get retracted behind me. This lead arm is going to stop that movement happening, because as I try to do that, it's obviously blocking it. So what we're left with is the option of a folding arm. And you can see how this arm is now starting to rotate. It's folding as I'm adding the bend. And then I can work all the way up to the top and my arm has folded. As opposed to the bend, which is really feeling like I'm pulling against my lead arm. If my lead arm wasn't there, it would be pulling and retracting behind me. Yes, it's still got bend, but it's not folded correctly. So now let's look at the wrist. What would we like that wrist to be doing at the top? Well, as my right arm is folding, I would like my wrist to be extending. So this is a very, very bent trail wrist at the top. The feeling would be my palm is facing very much towards the sky. Those golfers who get the club face open, twisted to the right, unfortunately there's quite a few of you out there, your right palm will be very much pointing out in front of you. So you may well be folding the arm correctly, but we need to add that bend in that trail wrist in order to control the club face. So what would that look like with a golf club? Well, it would look like this. Same movement. I'm going to fold that trail arm, but I'm going to put some bend in that right wrist, and then we get to the top where the right arm is hopefully positioned nicely, but again I've got that bend in that trail wrist which is controlling the club face. So loading this trail shoulder is really, really key. Putting the right rotations in there is absolutely vital, and folding the arm correctly is also absolutely key in my point of view. Working on that, you can start off at home. As you saw there, a lot of those drills were done without a golf club. It's a great way to start. You can use reflections, mirrors to see what that looks like, to see whether the movement looks about right. You know, we know what a golf swing looks like, what a good golf swing looks like, and you'll really start to notice the difference between the bend and the fold, and also those different wrist positions. Put the two together and you'll be able to position the golf club fantastically at the top. You'll have the club face under control, and I've no doubt you'll hit some much better shots once you're out on the golf course. Right, let me hit a shot into here. Great looking hole. You can see the flag's kind of up on the right, so I'm going to try and hit this middle of the green and work it back towards that flag, although the wind is off the right, so that's making it a little tricky, but let's see how we get on. I'm going to fold the right arm up to the top and then deliver it at impact. And probably could have guessed that. It's gone to the middle of the green, didn't cut back. I'm definitely going to blame the wind as opposed to my golf swing. But the strike felt pretty good, and hopefully you can see where that trail arm was at the top. So massive, massive thanks to Las Colinas Golf and Country Club for hosting me for a few days. I'm sure you'll agree, course looks absolutely fantastic. I haven't had a chance to play, but driving around the golf course, it looks fantastic. Some fantastic holes. And the practice facilities are second to none as well. So huge thanks to them for having me out here for a few days. Thank you to you as well for watching. Usual stuff is down below. There's a comments box down there. There's a like button. Again, drop me a comment if you'd like me to answer one of your questions. And over here, there is a button which you can click to become an absolutely free subscriber to the channel. Would love to have you on board for the journey. Thanks again. See you again soon.